Hey, good morning. It is Friday's channeling Odyssey of Ascension. I'm Roxanne Swinehart. Welcome. And, well, first, thank you for, well, I guess it would be second. First, welcome, and then thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I got both sides working today. Yay! Oh, so funny. This is a really interesting, Linda, Michael Lane. Linda wants to talk today. Awesome. Pardon the interruption. It was now. Interesting, I don't know, anticipation. And good morning. Thank you all once again for your attendance in this individual expression of now. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire to offer you once again our aspect, perspective, idea of humanity in the forgetfulness of the ascension of humanity. Individual expression. Do you realize any time, in any moment, in any of your nows, every single item in your reality field is expressing? The individual expression of the tree, the individual expression of the bark on the tree, the branch, the leaf. Everything individually expressing their moment of now is their greatest, highest joy. So it is easy, of course, to see the 2D items, 1D items, in that fashion as just all that is. Oh yes, easy. Because they're, quote, inanimate in that fashion. Truly they can't talk to you, and many of you now are experiencing that. But now we get into the 3D idea of self-awareness in an incarnation. Humanity. And the individual expression of every single entity is their highest joy, understanding, best that they could do in that moment. You must understand that. So, now let's look at this. If you are understanding that every single entity interaction is the mirror of reflection, 100%, how are you viewing that expression? The tree, it's beautiful because you perceive it as love. It is an expression. However, when you see an entity in that mirror of reflection, how are you seeing them? The vibrational state will be knocking down more barriers that have been hidden. The 4D vibrational state, once again, humanity is currently occupying. The idea when you are in an interaction, in the mirror of reflection, with the co-creation of an entity, part of all that is giving you a vibrational reflection of yourself. Immediately, you have the vibrational sense of your own reflection to gaze upon, to observe. And this might be a little tough for some of you, but if you're viewing it other than love, unconditional acceptance of that person, immediately, if there is any kind of feeling of separation other than love, any kind of feeling of they are Wrong. They are this. They are that. You're screaming at yourself. You must accept, if you choose, even that word right there, must. How did you view that? How are you viewing this moment right now? If you are viewing it other than unconditional love of an individual expression of all that is, you are exposing in the direct reflection, you're perpetuating limitations still yet. The work is deep. Of course, it's ending in that fashion and continuing in the next idea of transmuting energy. However, any entity that you're in interaction with, if you are feeling conflicted, the second, and I don't care how small it is, look at that and go, I'm viewing that other than a full expression of all that is. I see that entity expressing an opinion. I see the flower expressing its fragrance. There is no difference between the two. They are both individual expressions of their highest joy to be that experience in the moment. Only your conditioning is telling you there's a difference between their expressions. If there is a difference between their expressions, who's judging? There are different vibrations of the expressions for understanding, yes. But if it leaves you in a separation field of exposing the lack. Be the Bashar analogy of the mirror. The mirror smiles, you smile. No. You smile, the mirror smiles. There's nothing in the mirror. It's light reflected. There's no thing in that mirror. This is a mirror. 100%. You are putting this out to experience. %, it's a mirror. And if the idea comes in an interaction viewed in your reality as an individual expression put on the stage of life by another, is anything other than unconditional love, you are still conditioned. But that's wonderful. Because the deeper we go, the quicker it dissipates. Very much so. The reason why we want you to hone in and focus on this idea of paying attention to your nows, which we've taught you a series of ideas on how to be in the now truly, to be aware of your nows, and now we want you to understand your own view of your own reality as a mirror and see those interactions with all that is, whether it's 1D to 3D and 4D in a lot of cases. Anything other than all that is, individual expressions being themselves. If you're viewing it other than that, we want you to understand that now. Here's, let's say, the reason why. First part, of course, limitation. Second part, you've all felt the tsunami of love all around you, coined by Jesus through John on WordPress.com. Jesus, a good friend, of course, has also given a new perspective, and I want to give you that here as well. The tsunami of disclosure. This year, starting, will be epic on the disclosures of the game, the illusion that has been keeping you enslaved. the ones that are in charge, using you as rats in a maze, a laboratory experiment, puppets on a string, are now going to be disclosed. For there is too much vibration of the tsunami of love to allow that idea of limitation, enslavement, tyranny to be hidden any further, any longer from the perception of the human collective. And we're talking all the countries that are in power. We're not just talking, of course, the United States since we're here. We're talking all of them. North Korea, China, Russia, the Ukraine, Europe, England. Lots of stuff there, guys. Okay? That is coming. Also, thank you, with the Vatican as well. We've talked about this, and now it's coming to an idea. The reason why we want you to understand that individual expression is because those who are being exposed, the torchbearers, the light bearers, the way showers, the awakeners, the ascenders, in other words, all of you that are tuned in, need to hold that compassion and love for those individuals that have been exposed in the 3D eye, for the atrocities they have committed to humanity. They need to understand why. Those ones that are in exposure, who have, let's say, exposed them, who found them guilty in that fashion, they need to have your vibration, your acceptance, and your love in their presence, even if they're not in your physical reality. It is the state of mind of the tsunami of love that needs to be maintained. For the ones who are, let's say, really pissed off that they trusted these governments, that they trusted these men and women put in power with their lives, and how they were played, duped, they're going to be really pissed. So they themselves are going to, not with compassion and love, oh no, give them person their idea of justice. So those ones that will be locked up, give them the love and compassion, all of you, for an individual expression of the polarity idea, of the Luciferian oversoul idea, to get you to wake up, to show yourselves what you no longer choose. They served a purpose. But there will be several who don't see that purpose in that light. Oh no. They see someone that needs to be punished. And they will do that. Probability. In the same way they committed the atrocities to humanity as well. So they will become their own tyrant because of their revenge factor that is welling up inside of them. And this is happening this year. The tsunami of disclosure is starting to happen over and over and over, and becoming larger and sweeping over the nations. So your, let's say, do you want to call it that? Job, in that fashion, if you choose, is to hold your vibrational love and acceptance of all that is, the expression of that individual doing their best in every single moment to understand themselves. They chose that incarnation, they followed that, they knew the probabilities coming in, that would be their role amongst humanity, and they knew that the probability would be that they would be exposed and face judgment. Oh yes. Thousands and thousands of them will be. Do you want to put them in the town square in shackles? In the stockade? Do you want to put them and hang them? Do you? Do you want to play that game again? Because that's the vibrational sense that will be. They want public embarrassment for those people to show. That's not needed. That's perpetuating. And remember, none of this happened This is all an illusion. This is all a thought. So you can't forgive something that truly didn't happen. Forgive what? It didn't happen. However, in the idea of the 3D forgetfulness state, they want their revenge. Forgive. Show them the way. You will be challenged in many ideas. Many of you have chosen those to be in your vibrational state in interaction to understand. You can show them the idea of how to forgive, compassion, acceptance, individual expression. All of these terms that have a certain meaning, inflection, tone behind them that will give that person the instant understanding of your view, telepathically, of course, since we are connected in that way immensely. So you see how we built everything in the construct to lead to different points of healing for the entire planet. Make no mistake. Everyone's going to get an opportunity to come along. Oh yes. We are upon the time. Very close. Very close indeed. So, individual expression. If you need to perpetuate them as a flower, as something that is beautiful to you in that idea, Roxy always used flowers, she loves them. So whatever is beautiful to you, understand you can't equate that individual expression of all that is in the form of a human being, incarnation, as the flower. Because it is love. It is the mirror. Choose that and give them your love, your compassion, your acceptance. It's easier with ones that are awake, is it not? But the ones that are asleep, ooh. And then the ones that are asleep that are ready to take up arms against their betrayers, we need you all. Truly. Prepare. Prepare yourselves in the individual expression of all that is and understand that fully. This is Ocyphius. We shall take a break. I bid you a good moment. Odone. Wow, that was good shit.
Well, yeah, and it's like, yes, the truth will set you free, but first it will really piss you off.
Yeah, and I think, okay, now I understand. Wow, I like the tsunami disclosure that Jesus said.
Mm-hmm. And it will just build, you know.
It's gonna build, it's gonna build big, and then the idea is for us to, well, you don't need to do that. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me give you. Let me give you.
Well, and...
Because we don't want to see them perpetuate the same thing.
No.
Because then they become the masters of the slaves in that fashion.
And that was a really important part of that channeling, was that, especially for people who have known all along that all of these institutions were lying and everybody else didn't want to hear that.
Right.
You know, we're to the point now where it's like, okay, I see how that fits into everything, and it's not necessary to perpetuate that by taking revenge on these people. Okay?
Right.
We've gotten beyond that. It's time for something different.
So the individual expression message, allow, love, compassion, don't see it as anything other than love. From now, use that practicum, be that, lock it in, and as the tsunami of disclosure becomes larger and larger, you can be with that in that flow and allow those that come into your reality to give them your individual understanding, expression of what they can do, forgive,
and
accept,
just be an
compassion,
of
being
what
an allowance.
is, okay?
Well, you can be an allowance at this vibrational state. I understand that, but holy cow, someone that's 3D, that they fucked them over 3 days from Wednesday, there's going to be a lot of love. So that's why we have to mount our vibrational sense of expression, that vibration. They can't deny vibration anymore. The vibration is just way too big. So envelop them, hug them in that fashion of, oh, we got you, because it's coming. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah.
And you know, when you take a step back from that and look at an even bigger picture, okay, everyone is love. Everyone
Of
is
course. Yeah.
only that. And for us to experience being betrayed, you know, being lied to, being able to experience forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
somebody had to love us enough to come into this 3D reality and be something that we could forgive.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
love, it's all about love.
Yeah. They had to choose that
Yeah.
role of polarity to get us to realize and choose.
And I mean, how much love is that?
That's huge love.
Okay, huge. So,
That's a role I'm sure they did not prefer to take. However, their love for us
yes,
chose that.
to bring us to this moment in our evolution as a species.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good
Well,
stuff, Maynard.
Nina, we'll take a break. Love you all.